Bankai. Bankai, Bankai. Bankai. Bankai, Bankai, Bankai. 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 Bankai, Bankai. What did I mean? Ichigo is going to go Bankai. I did not expect that Ichigo would go Bankai this soon in the fight. I mean, okay, we know that this is probably the final battle, and the fact that this is the main villain. So it is very obvious that some point of time Ichigo is going to go Bankai. But I did not expect that to happen so early in the fight. Anyways, it did happen. That means that his Bankai is going to be awesome. I mean, come on, his new I don't know. Should I call it a Shikai? I don't know. But let's, for the time being, call it a Shikai. Okay, for its Shikai, that was awesome. That look and the power of combining both his normal usual attacks and his hollow attacks was actually quite cool. And for this time at least, we got something new out of Ichigo, just not the same old regular Getsuga Tensho. But I guess with his Bankai, we might just get some new stuff. I mean, not just his speed being heightened up or something like that. Maybe he might just go beyond more than that. He might just come up with some more attacks than that. Now, I do have certain speculations over his Shikai and his Bankai itself, but I will get into that in a moment. I just need to kind of talk about Yuha himself. Now, in this chapter particularly, Yuha kind of gets into his own abilities itself. Okay, he doesn't specifically focuses on his abilities. More like talks about it in a very vague way. Like you wouldn't you wouldn't really think that he's talking about his abilities unless you are like unless he like mentions that, yeah, this is my power. It's not so direct, and it's actually good in a way, because so far in this fight, in the fights which happened earlier, we got characters who actually are pretty much declaring their abilities straight on in their faces, and that's it. That's how it is going on right now. But we could see that in these recent fights, for example, the fight against we could say Askins, where Urahara went Bankai, he never really specifically told what his abilities were when he turned Bankai. He kind of was vague about it, and then when he started fighting Askin, he then revealed his ability. I mean, he kind of was like, okay, yeah, guess what, guess what, guess what, guess what, guess what? Yes, there it is. He kind of was playing around with us, and I think the same is going uh, with Yuha as well, because he is kind of giving us some information, but not all information about his power. So what he does and what he says in this chapter was that when Ichigo was fighting him, most of the attacks didn't really do jack shit. Even his Grand Race Zero, it wasn't really that effective on him. He was easily able to destroy it. Okay, then in fighting Ichigo was suddenly attacked by certain traps. Wherever he used to put his leg on, these black spikes used to emerge. Okay, and he realized that, okay, the whole place is pretty much rigged with traps, and wherever he's going, he's actually getting beaten up by them. Not even that, it was even a fact that where he was resting, and where he didn't expect any trap to be there. For example, I'm resting here right now. I'm putting my back. Uh, I'm resting my back, okay, on this wall, right? Now I'm not expecting any trap from coming behind, okay, right? Yeah. What if spikes come out of this wall like that? It would seriously surprise me, right? I wasn't expecting anything from here, but it happened. So that's how it was going on with Ichigo, okay. And in the beginning of this fight, even Ichigo tells the audience and tells himself as well that okay, this guy is pretty much underestimating me right now, so maybe I should go full power, full hollow, my full hollow abilities on him. And I actually was kind of expecting that to happen, but that didn't. He just went Bankai. But at that moment, Yuha said that for him, future is basically sand, grains of sand, and there are billions and billions and trillions of these grains of sand that he can actually see clearly. you know for him, these futures are so clear that he can literally jump from each of these future. And basically what he said, that the thing that you call hope is where you somehow, with your efforts, choose one of these futures by jumping from one end to another. You pick that future as your own future, okay. And that is how you come up to a point where you are the one who is the victor. By hope and effort, you are the one who are at the top of what you are, because you do that, right? You jump from these futures and don't end up in the wrong one, but in the right one. So for Yuha, he could see all of these futures, whereas for some person who has to be who is completely blind of these futures, would have to put shit ton of efforts and have to have a lot of hope that he might get to that point. Yuha doesn't have to do that. He just can see which one is good for him. But seeing the fact that he has rigged these traps around everywhere, my theory, or should I say my hypothesis over Yuha's abilities, like, first of all, even Hashhold said that Yuha's abilities are not just to just see the future. We all thought that his abilities is to change the future, and I think that is one of his abilities, to change the future. But I also think that his abilities are very much like Tsukushima, okay, where he can he can travel in one future to another, which is very much suitable for him, and then change the reality completely so that it would fall in his favor, okay. Pretty much he has the ability to manipulate with reality itself. Now this ability is kind of like Tsukushima, okay. And if this turns out to be his abilities, I won't be really that surprised, because it was my hypothesis over it. But I think that is anything close to what his abilities could go. That's what I think, okay. When I was reading this chapter, it actually kind of reminded me of this one thing that the Skull King from the Skull Knight, the Skull Knight from the manga Berserk said. He said that he said this to Guts, okay, the main character. He said that if you're going after Griffith, it would be like going after the author of a book that you are in, okay. So in that context, he wanted to say that if a character wants to go after the author, it would be completely impossible because the author could manipulate anything in the book and could fuck over the character. And that's what the abilities of Griffith were in that manga. And the only way you could have a chance against Griffith is that if you could come out of that book, or if you weren't even in that book, only then you can defeat Griffith. And I think this also goes for Yuha. I think his ability is to actually pretty much manipulate his favorable reality. Okay, he can manipulate reality itself from top to bottom, and for someone to actually be able to defeat him has to also be able to manipulate reality, or should be able to completely get out of reality itself. Okay, now I think so that this is where Aizen would come in, because we haven't seen his Bankai, and maybe, just maybe, his Bankai could be that it manipulates reality, or pretty much makes him get out of reality itself, and could give him, or could he could make an opening for Ichigo, so that Ichigo could kick Yuha's ass. Okay, now getting back to Ichigo itself. Okay, like I said, I have some points that I would like to share on you over this. Ichigo said that I have to go on with my full extent of my hollow powers. Okay, now in the previous chapter he said that his hollow and his Quincy powers are pretty much balanced. Okay, and right now he is using more of his hollow powers than Quincy powers, so it means that his Shikai has his hollow mode, but I think he has another Shikai. Okay, but he's not using it, which has Quincy powers. It is complete Quincy. Maybe in his other Shikai, his Quincy Shikai, he combines those two swords and turns it into a bow. Maybe, just maybe. But in his Bankai, I think he has 3 abilities. Yeah, I think in his Bankai he has 3 abilities. One is pure hollow, which of course means Shinigami / hollow, and the other one is pure Quincy, okay, which kind of would look like a wolf standing, and the third one is, I think it would be kind of like a Mugetsu, but with the combination of Quincy and hollow powers with it. So that is what I think would his Bankai would be. 3 forms of his Bankai. One which has hollow powers, one which has Quincy powers, and one which has both Quincy and hollow powers in its Mugetsu mode. Okay, not the Dango version, but I think the Mugetsu version. Yeah, what do you guys think about this chapter? Please share your thoughts in the comment section below. Till next time.